Yes, guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102, Salford City. The story goes on, but we do have some breaking news. It's nothing bad. Now, this will be, I can categorically confirm, this will be our last season in charge of Salford. So, we concluded season 7. Now, I had to get a video in quickly before I carried on playing, just from an update perspective. And you can see the date there. We're at the start of season 8. Where do we start? So, let's go straight into it. Season 7 concluded with us retaining the title. With a slightly less points total than the previous season. Arsenal took us all the way. And we are now ready for the Charity Shield at the start of season 8. So that's that. Let's go back. Let's show you then where we. So the League Cup, you may recall last season. The League Cup. Who knocked us out of the League Cup? Because I can't quite remember. Did we lose to Arsenal on penalties? Yeah. Look. Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course, that was on a video, weren't it? We lost to Arsenal on penalties at the quarter-final stage. The FA Cup. Now the FA Cup was really weird. I don't know if anyone's ever experienced this, but. The final, one of the final opponents was already put in stone, and yet there was still a 5th round match that needed to take place. I think it was Villa against Man United, because Man United were in the Europa League, and the games kept getting postponed. So the FA Cup, let's bring it all the way down. You're obviously going to see, so the quarterfinals, you can see we made it past the quarterfinals. You can see we made it out the Champions League. You can see... Right, now, a little bit of no spoilers here. So we won our first leg in the Champions League quarterfinals to Mönchengladbach. Remember, the quarterfinals is as far as we've been. We've been knocked out of the quarterfinals for the last 2 years running. The FA Cup semi-final, Liverpool, we were beaten on penalties again. So we bowed out of the FA Cup at the semi-final stage. But don't worry. Fuck, I've gone too fast. Shit. So, we scraped into the Champions League semi-final by losing to Mönchengladbach 2-1. The semi-final, we had Arsenal. You can see just what was happening. We won the first leg 1-0. And the second leg, we drew 1-1. So, we advanced to the final of the Champions League, where we would meet Barcelona. And it went like this. It went like that. So we actually clinched the Champions League and the league. And now this is why I'm saying this will be my last season at Salford. Salford, I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to end the save. I more likely will do. But there was another reason why I wanted to have one more year. And that was because of some of the recruits I got in. So that's that. They've upgraded our stadium by 1,000 in terms of... I mean, it's ridiculous. 1,000. They didn't do the training facility, so that's still shit. Our money, that's going to fucking kill us. More about that in a moment. So, the Charity Shield. Without further ado, let's go to this quickly, really quickly. Okay, so do you remember we had this guy coming in? Adrian Sardinero. He's one of the players I found on a school search. He won't... I don't think he'll break in. Oliver Robert. Now, I missed out on him, or I located him when it was too late, and he went to Swansea, but I always knew he had a release clause, and he finally became interested in me, so he arrives for the Rezzies. Messiah. I've renamed this guy. You know who this is, don't you? This is the one and only £23 million signing, Messi. So I've renamed him Messiah. If you remember, we renamed Ronaldo Ronnie. So... there is Messiah. Remember this guy? We brought him, Emre. We brought him from Paris Saint-Germain on a free transfer. Rock solid DMC. Look at him. He looks fucking crazy. Paul Gaffney. Now, Gaffney, I wanted a third goalkeeper, and I was quite pleased with him. Now, another thing I'm intrigued about you guys here is he had a £10.5 million release clause. And I wondered if this would work. And I thought it was going to. Because I offered £5.5 million up front and then an additional £5 million after 10 games, so £10.5 million, and they accepted it. Thinking to myself, wonder if I'll go for another player who I balance out his release clause, but it didn't work. But nevertheless, Paul Gaffney arrives to battle in goal. Right, Huisman. We tracked him before, remember. Not really keen on his position and not being much more than 16. But nevertheless, quality defender, cost us a lot of money. He did have a £34 million release clause, you may recall. We paid £14 million for him. You see, this happened with him as well. He had a £34 million release clause. We offered £14 million with an additional £10 million and £10 million on 10 appearances and 10 internationals. So we almost matched his release clause. But like I said, I tried it with a couple of other players and it didn't work. Unless, of course, you have to do it across, I don't know. Interesting. If anyone's got any feedback on that. So, Sharik Huisman arrives. And finally, we got this deal over the line. Alex Neto, somebody else we were tracking for quite a while from the an original school search from a few years ago. As you can see, he's been going about for a bit. He arrives for the Resi. So, we are really set up now. My last video, I don't think I actually got a chance to tell you, did I? We were on the brink of signing William Saliba. Well, of course, as you can see, he did sign for us. And he did solid for 16 odd games, £75 million. But his downfall is in 16 games, 3 red cards. You know, I mean, I suppose it comes with the territory. You still got to play him. He's a rock-solid defender, but he got a red card right towards the end of the season, and he got given a 3-game ban, and I couldn't get it rescinded down to 2, so he was suspended for the opening game of the season. So our defenders, our initial lineup is Chiradia, I'm not sure about him, Nogiro, I think he's brilliant, and Bella Kotchup, who really had a strong finish to the season, it's fair to say. In goal, Van der Voort, probably still the main guy in goal. Auto value of 25 million. Mazamoro certainly looking quality as a backup, but then Gaffney will contest that. Into midfield then, the left wing Marino is turning absolutely insane. He really is turning insane. Look at him, and he got a good contract as well. And he finished last season with 14 assists, 788, absolutely superb. Really, really pleased. Although we did slightly better the season before. On the right wing, that's going to start now. This is a big decision. I've moved Enes Sally to start the right wing. He's going to start. I'm currently offering him a new contract. In the middle, Nemeth. I've given Nemeth a lead line in the middle of the park. Now, you're all going to know who my main two are up top. Mbappe. Mbappe will start. He's going to be the captain as well. Mbappe, I've noticed his penalty taking attribute has gone down. And the Messi or Messiah will be on the other side. And up top, it will not be Ronnie. It will not be Ronnie. I'm thinking about this 18 years old, you know, grooming him slightly. Wrong choice of words maybe. But I'm also going to have... Oh, shit, his finishing's gone down to 27. Motherfucker. See, his finishing... I don't know now, actually, about that. I don't know, fuck those. But then I've still got some real quality players. We brought in this guy in the January window, Alracon. He arrived. I think we had a bit of money spare, 20 million. Verlinden, the Eden Hazard regen, was solid. You know, but again, he is only just turned 18, so I want to be really, really careful with him. We've still got Struikens. We've got NATO. NATO's waiting for a spot. We've got Jota. We've got a Langoni who has signed a new contract recently. So real quality players that can come in. We've got... who else we got here? We've got... no, nobody else. So we spoke about this DMC. And also in defence, we've got Delgado as well. What we did do is in the reserves, we moved what I believe is Modric regen into there. I don't know, we might change things around a little bit, but we've got some real quality players in the reserves. Just quickly flick through. Jackson's gone out on loan. Robert's that midfielder from Swansea. Smith, Sandoval, Nita we just bought, we know. Rodney and Payez, who was going to stay in my seniors. He did extremely well in the few games that he had for me last season. 5 games, 900. But I've got a loan offer in for him. And that's that. I think we've got a couple over here. Kellyman. Yeah, Kellyman, his finishing's gone down as well. Not happy with that. Not happy with that whatsoever. Messina. And we've got nobody in goal. So that is our formation. Just to remind you, my speed freak. It's all about speed. This will be the last season. There's no doubt about that. So in terms of me as a manager, they are my attributes. I think it'd be a good time to retire at the age of 64. I'll be 64 at the end of this season. Now, a little observation here from somebody. Now, anyone know what I'm going to do here? So, Havant and Waterlooville. So, Pep showed me something ages ago on the update. He goes, "Mike, look at this." And a shitty little team, had a bunch, loads of money. Then another guy this week, Lee, he sends me a message saying, "Mike, what the fuck?" And I thought, nah, hang on a minute. Must be ironic. Is it the same team? Turned out it was. And this is what I'm getting at here. Look at that. £2.53 billion in the bank. So, begs the question now, where's this money come from? Because they definitely don't start with it. And if you go back to one of my videos on the non-league teams, how much they start with, they are definitely not one of them. However, the way I think we've worked it out as you can see, the merchandising for last year alone is £365 million. 41 million so far this year. 34 million last month. So for the whole of for the whole of July, £34 million. So I think you know what's coming here. Havant is maybe going to be, I don't even know if they're in a league. This is the shit thing, you see. They're not even in a fucking league. So they're not even in the Conference South. Oh, hang on a minute. We don't have Conference South open, do we? Conference North or South, do we? Ah, right, so they might be. I'll have to check that. So, there you go. They're the change for the future. So, that is where we're at with Salford then. Nothing much more to scream about. We are obviously going to be in the World Club Cup. The draw's not been made on that yet. So, we are champions of Europe. We're going to be in the Club World Cup. So, big season ahead for us, really. I think in so many respects. We made an adjustment. I think, did we get a new assistant manager? I think we did, yeah. We pulled a new assistant manager in, and we got a new couple of physios whose physiotherapy attributes seem to have gone down to 41, so we got a couple of 42s in. All the scouts, we've got one new scout in as well. We've actually sent our scouts out everywhere, Caribbean, South America, although I think the scouting system is a bit fucked. We've had a brief look on the school search, although it'll be after the 27th of August that we can really look into that. This is what I wanted, another goalkeeper. I knew there was a couple out here. There's still some quality players out here available, but getting a deal over the line has been very, very difficult. So, Season 8, this will be our last season. Meanwhile, there's a few options now for the next save. There's a few options I can do, really. Is one, I take on a new job within this save. Haven't, maybe, you never know. Two, I start a new save as Peterborough Sports. I start a new save as Wrexham. So there's a few options. I think the Speed Freak has done me well. I think it's fair to say it has done me well. And that's it. So, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you've got anything you want to add, anything you want to see, anything you want to know, anything you want to critique, fire away. Till next time from me, guys, take it easy.